for the block question, let's go ahead and go into this one. So where we left off before, remember we were just working on our block solid, and we've got the other states working. The block question, this is going to be a little bit bigger because we have to actually set it up so that it has the option to instantiate the grow, the extra life, the fire flower, and then we also have to be able to scroll the UV textures to the side. So for this one, starting off with this, let's go ahead and just do the beginning part, which is our render. So say render material, and it's going to be equal to the material block. And I believe our material block for this one was 4. That's going to be the question box one. Alright. And for this, what we need to do is set up each one as a check. We could do an if statement for it if we wanted to. We could also we could do just a single one to start with, just to make sure everything works right. So we could say that we'll do a simple check here. We'll say if block animation is true, so that means that if the players hit the block. But also we'll say that and we'll double check for the pickup state. So we'll say if pickup, remember the pickup is going to be spelled this way. Pickup state is equal to pickup state dot pickup. Lots of pickups going on right here. Oh, pickup mushroom grow. Alright, so if our pickup state is equal to the pickup mushroom grow, then we can actually do what's inside of here. Now remember, the state type is defined again inside the inspector. Over here on the side, we have pickup state. So if it's defined as the mushroom grow, and the block state is actually set to question block, then we'll actually be able to get inside of here and have something happen. Alright, so what do we want to actually have happen inside of here? Well, we want to have the block actually animate. So we'll say animation.play. And we just want to play our bounce block. Oops, let's see, we want to say block. There we go. Block bounce. Alright. And after we have our animation playing, we want to do the same thing we've done up here, which is just instantiate. So we'll instantiate the object, and the object's going to be our pickup mushroom grow. Let's double check the name on it. So in the prefabs, it should just be pickup, let's see, the prefab pickup mushroom grow. Alright, and that's what we're wanting to instantiate, and what we called it inside of our code was going to be pickup mushroom grow right there. Alright, so inside of here, we'll just do pickup mushroom grow. And the mushroom grow, where the position is going to be to get started with, let's go ahead and just say it's going to be at the same way that we did before. We'll just say transform.position, and along with the other one, which will be our rotation. So transform.rotation. Alright, and with those, we could actually go ahead and create the instantiation, so we could go ahead and check it out real fast. But before we finish it though, let's go ahead and turn it off to, we'll turn off our animation mode on false, and go ahead and play some audio files here. So with this, we'll do audio clip. It's going to equal the sound bump. And then same thing again for this one. Once we've loaded the audio, then we'll play the audio. So we'll just say audio play. Alright, and once we play the audio, then we'll turn off our animation for it. So block ANI is going to equal false. And after that, we'll say block state is going to be, actually, we'll go ahead and hold off on this one. Once we, let's see, we'll just stop with this part right here. Okay. So, if we have all of those, this will allow us to get into here. It'll also allow us to get out of our block animation so that we're not playing it over and over again. If we save this, we go back into here, make sure your block state is question, make sure your pickup state is on the mushroom grow. If we play it, we should notice that when we go over here, it's the question box. When you hit it, it actually throws it out, but you see the way it kind of threw it out? It was actually just, it hit from right here, had a collision issue, and kind of went off to the side right there. So again, this is another one where we want to change where it's being instantiated on the position placement of it. So let's go ahead and go back up to the top inside of our start. And let's see, what was our, double check on our type. We had the pickup position. Okay, so we want to change the position for our pickup position. Again, we'll make this one a vector 3. And for the transform, we'll just do transform position.x. And then we'll do the y and the z. The y, again, the y will be one that we want to move slightly up so that it's a little bit above the block when it gets created. But also we'll move it back on the z as well. So we'll just say transform z.position dot y, and we'll just add to it a little bit so it's a little bit above. We'll go for 0.45 on this. And this one, you can play with the numbers until you get what it is that you want to have from it. Should be pretty close with that one. So say transform position z. And on the z, we just want to subtract. We're going to subtract just a little bit from it. We'll do a 0.1 on it. Alright, so that'll give us our new position. And this one, this can be our pickup position. Now let's make sure we go ahead and set this one. This was our brake position. And let's make sure we say it was for the geometry part. Okay. And let's clean this part up real fast. Oops. Here, we'll take it to there. Okay. And make sure we have the vector 3 in there. Alright, so we've got all of our transforms set in place for this. The last thing we want to do on that part, just so that it gets instantiated right, change the transform position. Again, transform position will be pickup position. Alright, so that'll give us the right placement, or should give us the right placement. Let's go ahead and try it out real quick. So save, go back to here and play it. And when we hit, notice that it moved it up just enough that the height actually wound up going up to here. And then, so it hit, and then it created it so that it would fall down and go to the side. Alright, so that works pretty well for us. Let's go ahead and turn this one off. And so at this point, we actually now have our block question, and we can choose the first one, which was the mushroom grow. We have several other states that we want to change them to, so let's go ahead and do those. So the next one, we'll go ahead and take. Now, these are going to be pretty close to the same. If you're good at just kind of copying and pasting and making sure you don't make mistakes with it, you can copy this and paste it down here. We're going to do the second state. Again, we're going to check for the block animation to be true. The pickup state, though, is going to be the part that changes. It's not going to be grow. We actually want to change this to life. So it'll be pickup mushroom life. And then for the animation, we're still playing the bounce, the instantiating. Instead of instantiating the grow, though, we're going to instantiate the pickup mushroom life on this one. The pickup position will be the same because we're still creating just that mushroom little shape, so we want it in the same position and rotation. And then the same noises for this one it's actually not going to be the sound bump, though, because we're doing that different noise for the life one. We'll go ahead and change this to, instead of sound bump, we'll say sound pickup. Alright, and then we'll do the play for this part and set the animation back to false. Alright, so that's actually pretty fast for this for changes. We go back to here, make sure that our block state is the block question, and then the break state is actually, not break state, but the pickup state is mushroom life. Alright. So if we do this, we can go over, we can hit, and we'll get the little green one to come out. That'll be the extra life. Alright, so we have that one already set up. The next one that we want to do, this is just going to be our fire flower one, so we can go ahead and just copy and paste that code above again. We're going to set for the pickup state. It's not going to be a pickup mushroom grow, but it'll actually just be the pickup fire flower. Alright. And the pickup fire flower, again, we'll still do the block bounce. The pickup spot for it should be close enough. We'll double check when we create it. We'll do the change for what we're instantiating. This will be the fire flower. So pickup fire flower, position, rotation. The sound we can do, we'll go ahead and do the pickup sound on it. Alright, so we've got the sound pickup, which will be the same as that one. We'll play the animation and set the animation back to false. Pretty easy change. It's nice when the code's about the same. That allows you just to change one or two elements inside of it. For the pickup state, we'll change this one to fire flower. And when I go back here to play, And next time when I come through here, I should be able to hit, and then the fire flower is up there on the top. Alright, so that gives us our different states we can change between. Now, notice something we're going to look at here in a little bit is that if I hit it again, notice it keeps creating additional fire flowers. So now we've got 3 of them inside of here. We're gonna have to set it. This is one of the reasons why we're going to create the after state, so that when you hit it once, it changes to another state. So for instance, with this one, what could actually happen is you hit it once and it changes to the solid state. That way, you're no longer able to create another fire flower from the same spot. So we'll work on that one in just a little bit. We want to go ahead and finish off the block question. For the block question, if we were actually doing the UVs and we were just going to rotate it, now again the rotation on this one is not going to look great. We'll clean it up and fix it up later. But if we just wanted to start moving just offsetting the UVs for it, we could create a variable down here. We could just call this one offset, and we'll make it a float type. And we're going to set it to time. Oops. We'll set it to time.time and multiply it by our block question scroll speed that we had. Alright. And then in order to make it actually move, remember this is another one of those things, if you haven't used it in a while, then double check with your script resource and your reference guide and actually just find it. You go to the render material and there is a main texture offset. Remember the offset from our animation that we did allows the UVs just to be offset based on a number. So we'll call up our vector 2 for XY. The X, so we're going to be moving it left and right, we'll just call up our offset. So again, the offset left and right will be based on time times the scroll speed. And then the Y, we're not going up and down with it, so we'll just set it to 0. Alright, and then the last thing we have is the break in here. Let's go ahead and finish off that last one here. We'll just call up our default and do the break right after that. Alright, so we have the offset actually happening right here. If we were to actually save this and go back into it, by default, it's going to be scrolling at a 0.5. Now, the texture itself is going to look a little odd because we got the line going through it right here. But the idea is that the question box going across. And then when we add some more polish to it as well, it's the same thing for like these. You get that little shine that goes across it. And we can set that up all inside the shader. Alright. So we have those set up. That gives us our basic block states. And all the states that we have are the ones that we've already defined. We've got the right position set inside of the start option. Just to make sure that all the sounds, we're going to set up a sound file just to make sure that on the initial startup, everything that isn't actually set for a sound, we'll have it set as a default. We'll set for just the regular sound bump file. So let's go ahead and just set up the inside of the function start. Let's just do an audio. We'll do audio clip. We'll just be loading our clip file into it and just call up the sound bump. Alright. And we'll make a comment on the side right here for it. So this is just going to preload the audio clip. Just to make sure there's something loaded up for a sound effect if something does happen. This should give us everything that we need for this part. Let's double check on one other thing. When we were working on, and this is going to be kind of jumping around a little bit through the code here, but when we were working on the block coin, let's double check on our coin state. For instance, let's see, here we'll go ahead and grab our block. If you change your block state from question, change it to the coin. And as Mario comes over and he hits it, let's make sure that it works right. That it goes from 2, 1, 0, and if you notice, the block coin actually goes into a negative amount right there. Well, probably don't want the negative amount actually occurring. Alright, so what we want to do for this one is let's go ahead and set up a start state to it. So inside of the function start, let's go ahead and set up, remember what we did inside of the variables right up here? We had a coin amount reset. So let's actually set the block coin. We're going to provide the variable for it. We'll say block coin amount reset is going to be equal to, at the very start, it's going to be equal to whatever our block coin amount is. So we'll say block coin amount. And this is going to store the coin amount for us. Alright, for the coin. So we'll store that information there, that way we can use it later so that we can actually reset it in case it gets to a certain number and we don't actually want that number to happen. But also, at the same time, remember that when it gets down to, say, 0, that's when the block state after can come into effect, and it can be when the block state coin reaches 0, this changes to a solid or changes to a breakable, and then the character is actually able to break it. But part of that's going to be that part where we also want to be able to reset it, because what we could do is have it reset and go to a different number. Alright, so we'll have that one in there just so we can use it when we need it. The next thing that we want to do, this is going to be just kind of adding to the code that we have. Actually, let's see, let's double check here. Let's go ahead and we'll call what we've got right now. We'll go ahead and stop at this point. Be sure you've got all of this set into place, and then the next video that we do, it'll be on just adding the block state after. So be sure in your update function, inside your switch, you've got the following. All the way through there. Alright, so next video, we'll start in on the block state after.